All right, thanks for tuning into the Military Dads Fitness podcast, where we talk about all things health and nutrition. This podcast is for veterans and active duty men who have kids and just really want to get healthy and burn some fat, build up some muscle, and really just regain that confidence. If you're listening live on Facebook, that is awesome. But if you're listening on Spotify or Google Play or Apple Podcasts, you can join our free Facebook group where we actually stream this live. Usually today we're streaming live actually on my profile, but normally we're going to stream live to the actual group. You can join that group by going to www.militarydadsfitness.com. So if you're not in that group, military dads, active duty, veteran dads, get in there. We got some great stuff. Today we're going to talk about podcast number 4, right? And we're talking about how to lose 41 pounds in 90 days. I got a special guest with me. His name is Chris Bean. He's a client of mine, and he actually dropped 41 pounds in 90 days, and he's still holding strong, still doing absolutely fantastic. So I want to introduce you guys to him, and we're going to get rock and roll with this podcast. Great to have you guys on board and watching with us. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm 52. I'll be 52 this year. I'm recently retired after 32 years in the military, and I'm an athletic guy, but I think COVID kind of added a few extra pounds to me, and it started a downward trend that I wasn't looking forward to seeing the end of. So I had to do something to change it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I remember the first time we talked, you were telling me about that, and it's just everyone's kind of putting on this COVID weight right now. And if that's you, if you put on this COVID weight and you're struggling getting this off, just comment below CV19, right? Because we don't want it to get flagged for anything else, any other health things. So just CV19 if that's you and you're trying to get that weight off. So Chris, I want to know, like, where were you before we even met? Like, what was going on? What were you trying?
Well, you know, I play some sports. I play hockey, but you know, I was only playing like once or twice a week, and that just kind of wasn't doing it for me. The weight wasn't coming off fast enough, and I wasn't. You know, I was trying some diet and exercise stuff, but I wasn't really getting real serious with it. And I don't know. I'm a kind of like a follow the guidelines kind of guy. You know, if I got something, you know, in front of me, tells me what to do and when to do it, you know, I'm good there. You know, my imagination's not too good, so.
Yeah, I mean, and you implemented the steps perfectly. Like, you did absolutely fantastic, just doing what you knew you should be doing. But, you know, I couldn't go over there and make you do them. You did them yourself. I gave you the dues, you
Right.
believed in them, and you absolutely crushed it. And yeah, the hockey was like, I remember, you know, a bunch of times the hockey, we always tried to plan around that. Like, the workouts wouldn't get in, but you would still get in, you know, your 2% that we would talk about. And that would kind of replace the workouts because you were doing hockey. And yeah, you're just absolutely, you're a goalie, right?
Right. Correct. Yes.
Yeah. So goalies, if there's any goalies out there, you guys know that, you know, they're doing a lot of work. They're doing a lot I played goalie in soccer at one point, and yeah, it's a lot of work. It's not like the work people going around up and down and getting all that cardio in. So yeah. So Chris, like, what was something that changed for you, you know, recently in the past 3 or so months, and in the past 3 months, you were able to drop off that weight? What changed for you?
Well, I had some health issues. You know, my body wasn't feeling great. You know, it was hard to bend over to tie my shoes. You know, just normal everyday kind of things. Just they weren't working for me. And you know, my doctor told me, you need to lose some weight. And you know, and I got a couple of health scares, and I said, well, you know, I looked at this as an investment in my health, and you know, I found you on Facebook, and you know, joined the group, and you know, we had a conversation, and you know, here we are, you know, 41 pounds later.
Awesome. And I know one of the concerns that we talked about when we first started talking was like plateaus and, you know, what to do, when to do it. Did you ever really hit any type of plateaus?
Very little. I in the past I have, you know, but you know, with what we were doing and the diet and exercise, it seems like I was, you know, losing 1, 2, 3 pounds a week. And then, I might have like a over the weekend kind of thing where, I maintain some weight, and then, I play a few games of hockey, and the next thing you know, I'd like drop off again. And, so yeah, they're very small plateaus.
Yeah. So, and also what I'm hearing, like the weight just wasn't coming off, as quickly as you wanted it to. And then it was just kind of just staying there, and things were just kind of plateauing a little bit. So yeah, what sort of things, what other things were you trying before we started talking?
Um, I try to eat lots of, vegetables, make sure I get my vegetables in, my proteins. But one thing I learned with your program is the different colors of vegetables. I was always, oh, eat your greens, and that's what I heard. But I tried to stay away from the high calorie vegetables. Your carrots and stuff, because they got like sugar in them. But from your program, I learned that you need to have a good balance of, across the board with all that stuff. And you shouldn't be afraid to eat that stuff because you think it's going to put you over on calories and stuff. Your body needs the calories.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you need to be feeding your body, guys. So if you guys are listening, like, you got to feed yourself. You got to make sure you're having, proper balance, whether you have, I mean, proper balance could come in the form of, lower carb or higher protein, whatever it is that you're trying to do. But, I too often we've talked to guys, and I don't know if this was you, Chris, like way before we started talking, but some guys like completely remove carbs from their diet and completely remove all these other things from their diet. And it's not the way to go. And Chris, you're a great example of why that's not the case. Like, you're eating clean, you're eating healthy. We're able to implement a skill that I've taught you, and that you implemented absolutely perfectly and wonderfully, to where you can actually still have some of your favorite foods and not worry about, packing on some more extra weight. Do you remember what that skill is called?
Single ingredient.
No, we're talking about the 96.
The 96. Okay, yes.
Yeah, 96.
96, 72, 16.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in what that is that Chris is talking about, the 96 and the 72, there's different skills that I'm teaching. Comment 96 below this, and I'll reach out to you, and we'll have a conversation about that. So Chris, I want to know, is there anything at all that you would advise people to do? What's one thing that you can advise someone to do if they're trying to get off as much weight as you're trying to get off?
2% movement.
2% movement.
A minimum.
Absolutely.
A minimum.
Minimum.
Anybody can do 2% movement every day.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter. You gotta take time to make time.
Absolutely. If that's you, like, you guys, a lot of times, and I've done this before myself, there's no time to hit the gym, so I'm not going to do anything. Guys, if you took anything out of this podcast, the 2% movement is the one thing that is going to absolutely help you achieve these goals. 2% movement. I don't care if you can't get to the gym, get some movement in, do something, move around, right? I mean, listen to Chris. He's saying this is working for him, right? We're telling you guys, these are some tasks that you need to do. So if that's you, and you're that type of person that's, always telling yourself, well, the gym's closed. Right now, a lot of people, some of their gyms are still closed. If you're listening and it's closed, then now you're thinking, what am I going to do? If that's you and you just decide not to do anything, I want you to comment below 2% movement. Comment 2% movement, and we'll have a discussion to see how we'll get a little bit more in depth about it and see what type of solution or situation you're in, and find a solution for you so we can figure this out. Absolutely. Those of you that are interested in what Chris is going through, there's a post in the Military Dads Facebook group, the Military Dads Fitness Facebook group, sorry, about the 90-day #90-day burn. If you guys are interested in doing exactly what Chris did and being able to implement these steps, and you want to learn that extra skill, comment 96. Comment 96 below. I'll reach out to you. We'll have a conversation, and we'll talk about this. Right. And if you're not in that group, get in there right now. www.militarydadsfitness.com. Get in that group. There's a lot of conversations going there. A lot of guys in there. There's over 2,000 people in the group right now. And this is just for veterans and active duty men, right? So get in that group. The post is up there. If you want to see that post, that hashtag 90-day burn, and check out that post. I'll reach out to you if you come out there. Chris, it's absolutely been fantastic working with you. You absolutely crush it all the time, and you always bring your A game, right? You have that plan that you're ready to implement. You're ready. You're excited to learn. Like, what has your learning experience been like for you through this whole process?
Well, it's been educational. You know, some things that you may have learned before that worked for you might not work for you this time around, this later on in life. You know, your videos are helpful and informative. You know, the exercises. You know, if you forget what what kind of movement, the correct movement you need, you know, you can look at the video and you show us how to perform it correctly, you know, and then you give, you know, tips and you know, the repetitions, and you know, it's all been good. You know, there's no guesswork really, you know, and plus, you know, you implement it with a, you know, a conversation that we have, and you know, even on some of the podcasts and the weekly meetings and things, you know, you can ask questions and get tips, and you know, it reinforces everything.
Absolutely. I love that. I love hearing that, brother. I mean, you've been a blessing to work with. I love every time we get on these calls together. We have these conversations. I know a lot of times we'll just joke around on these calls too. Yeah, I love it all. So what I want to know, and probably what the listeners want to know, was what were some struggles? I mean, there's got to be some struggles that you went through going through the process. You know, sometimes, you know, we go through struggles. Like what were some struggles before we started working together, and what were some struggles during?
Well, the struggles are your own internal struggles, the justifications that you make up in your own mind why you can't do something, or you know, you know, my joints are hurting, and you know, I can't do this and I can't do that. You know, you can do it, you know, unless you're totally debilitated, which, you know, the movement, the 2% movement helps with that. You know, you're lubricating your joints, you're getting up, you're moving around, and I just felt that, you know, I was doing that more often. And you know, before I started the program, you know, it hurt to get up and down the stairs, or you know, off the couch or whatever. But you know, I found that after I started moving, you know, every day, it just kind of, you know, I got used to it. Of course, you know, I was carrying around a lot of extra weight too, so that didn't help anything either. So, but yeah, the justifications that you make up in your own mind, you know, you have to give yourself time to implement some of these things. It's a lifestyle change, so um, you know, and small victories, small steps, definitely.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you are able to cross over each one of those struggles. And I mean, I loved every minute of working with you and doing this stuff with you. I want to jump over to the comments. We got a couple comments in here. We got Brian. Actually, he's got 3 comments in here. Yeah, Brian. So if you jump in the group, you can actually see Chris's first week and last week photo. And I'll probably send it in the reply of your comment right there if you want to see his first week and last week photo that I have for you. So we can definitely show you that. So I'm sure every listener wants to know, Chris, how are you feeling right now?
I feel great. I feel motivated, um, uh, invigorated. I just have more energy now, especially, you know, eating a, you know, clean diet. You know, I'm not eating the Chinese food or the pizza that, you know, that my wife likes to, you know, order from time to time, and I keep telling her not to. But definitely, you know, the single ingredients, and I just feel better all around, my health wise. You know, I don't feel like my head's gonna explode when I pop, you know, bend over and tie my shoe. You know, and I know some people are out there feeling that same thing. So
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely. There's a lot of guys out there right now. If you guys are feeling that and you're listening right now, again, comment 96, and we'll have that conversation. I love to you know, talk to you about the process that Chris is going through. And Chris, you mentioned You mentioned the pizza with your wife because that's funny because that's like usually my struggle as well as like when it's like pizza night, it's like, oh, pizza, right? I think that's everybody's struggle is how readily available pizza can be.
Right.
But again,
but you can make a pizza in a healthy way too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can make a pizza
You just
in a healthy
need to
way.
learn how to do it.
Yeah, and then of course that skill that I taught you, it's not okay to have pizza every so often. It's not okay to have some of these other foods as long as you're getting the compliance rate that like you've been showing. You're well over 90% compliance rate for healthy foods, right? And that's incredible. That gives you that room for those other things mixed with that extra skill that you've learned and that we're going to just continue to master, continue to harness that craft and just go forward with it, right? This is something you can use the rest of your life. And that's awesome. You're never going to be stuck like you were before.
Just,
right. And that's why I'm happy for you to be able to do
some
this.
of the things that I found too is, we get off track, especially like on a weekend when it's not 96 time. But you just need to know you got to get back on that track and nose to the grindstone, follow the plan, and things will be right in the world again.
Absolutely. So again, guys, if and Chris, thank you for being on this podcast with me. Like I said before, and a million times on this podcast, I've loved working with you. I love our continuing work together that we're doing. If you guys are interested in getting the same results as Chris, again, comment 96 below this video. We're going to hop on off here and we'll be doing some more podcasts. Hopefully the future podcast will be in the Facebook group. A little bit of technical difficulties today. There's supposed to be some kind of application attached to the group, but that's my bad. But we're here live on my profile. I will make sure I have the copy sent over to the Facebook group as well. So all the recordings for the podcast are in there right now. This is episode number 4. Episodes previous to this are in there as well. Guys, if you're a military, active duty, veteran dad, and you're looking to actually get some positive change in your life, get healthy for yourself, for your family, you're trying to burn off some weight, you're trying to build up some muscle, or just really just gain that confidence back, get in that group. That's the first step. Get in that group. Take some type of movement to do something. All right? Just get in there. See what all the guys are talking about. You want to talk to Chris? He'd love to have a conversation with you as well. He's told me before. Just get in there. Get in there and see what people are posting. All right? So, again, Chris, great to have you on here today. We're going to hop on off. And so that's going to be the end of this podcast. I look forward to the next podcast and seeing all you guys in the group and all you new guys that are going to join us in there and just absolutely start crushing your progress. I look forward to see everybody's progress in the Military Dads Fitness Facebook group. Post it in there. I love to see it. If you want me to see something and you want my opinion on something, always tag me in a post or you can reach out to me anytime. So we're going to sign off here today, and I hope the rest of you guys have a great rest of the week and a great weekend. I know we got a holiday coming up, right? So we're going to have a good celebration in about 2 weeks.